This is FYI on your TV, brought to you by Hometown News. I'm Kathy Botham. Curtains up, Jamie Schoular. You're here with our
Kathy.
Smith Falls Community Theatre. Last time you were here, it was Harvey. Yeah, and that was a while ago. Yeah, and that was amazing.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we had a lot of fun with that show. Great story, classic, and we had a good cast and crew, and it was, I think, pretty well received. So.
Oh, I think so. Absolutely, it was. Absolutely, it was. Now you're here today, different capacity. Well, not really. You're a director, but you're in the play as well. So the director of There Goes the Bride.
Correct.
Now I automatically think, you know, Here Comes the Bride, but this one is There Goes the Bride.
Right.
So can you talk a little bit about the play?
Sure. So it's a farce, a British farce, and it's a Ray Cooney play, and our group has done a number of Ray Cooney shows in the past. It's very typically British. We have a group of folks that seem to enjoy doing this type of show. The British are especially good at their farces, and Ray Cooney is probably the preeminent writer of such things. So this follows a formula that he has used in the past that I think folks that have seen us do a Cooney before will kind of recognize. The same kind of characters, the same kind of hard to believe scenarios that he presents, things that, I don't know, may or may not happen, but probably not, and so it's quite humorous, I think. Yeah.
Excellent.
People will enjoy it.
And you're the director.
I am. Now, I have to give credit to Catherine Coleman as well, because I guess you could say she and I are co-directing the production. Catherine is great. She's directed a lot of shows and has a keen eye for what goes on the stage, and so she and I are really working together to put this together. And yeah, so it's, you know, I don't want to take credit for it. It's more of a team effort, and I think it should work out.
Well, you're both on stage as well.
We are, right. So it's important to have eyes not on stage to kind of see how things are progressing, and especially as it pertains to blocking and whatnot. So.
All right. Yeah. So your character. Talk about your character.
So the story is about this fellow Timothy Westerby, who is my character, and he lives in an upper class neighborhood of London, England, and the story takes place on one day. It's his daughter's wedding, and so he is obviously involved with that to a great degree, but at the same time he and his partner Bill Shorter, who's played by Dave Snyder, who's done a number of shows with us, Tim and Bill are working on this campaign. He's an advertising agent, and they're trying to put together this campaign for this company that sells brassieres. And so he's quite fussed about that. He's got the wedding going on. His wife, Ursula, who's played by Catherine Coleman, you know, she's trying to get him to do what he's supposed to do in terms of the wedding planning. And so he's also got some medical issues that require him to be medicated. And so all these factors kind of meld together to create a lot of stress. And so what eventually ends up happening is he gets knocked on the head by accident, and he has a difficult time separating reality from fantasy, and you'll just have to come and see what I mean by that. But it creates a lot of uproar on the wedding day for his daughter, and it just kind of I don't know, it just gets really crazy. So
excellent. Looking forward to it. Looking forward. How many characters?
So we have a total of 8 characters altogether.
Okay.
And as I mentioned, we have some folks like myself and Catherine and Dave who have done shows before, but we have new folks as well, which is great. That's kind of what this is all about. We want to get people involved. And So it's a good opportunity for some people who have, in a couple of cases, never really done theater before to get involved, and others who have done theater, maybe not in Smith Falls, but in other communities as well, to get involved with our group. And of course, we have our important army of volunteers behind the scenes that work on sets and costumes and advertising and all those important other aspects of putting on a show.
And I'm glad you mentioned you've got some newcomers coming out there too, because before we started taping, we were talking about, you know, having such a wonderful theater here right in Smith Falls. People don't have to go to the city to be in a play. And
yeah, we are so fortunate.
Yeah.
We've got a beautiful building. Over the last number of years, due to the hard work of volunteers, we've been able to organize the various aspects of putting on productions. So if you were to go and take a look at our costume department, for example, or our set department, prop department, it's all been really well organized by volunteers, and so that makes it very efficient in terms of being able to put all these things together. Yeah, it's really quite amazing the work that people have done to get to where we are right now.
Now, my grandson's been in a few plays too, and when you talk about the inventory of what you have for the theater there, it's amazing because, you know, Linda Daniluk and Linda Pfeiffer, when you're talking to people, they'll remember something from a previous play and they'll say, oh, this will work perfect.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we've had so many people in the community that have donated things to us that we've made use of, whether it's costume pieces or property pieces. You know, it's really been an effort that the whole community has contributed to. So we're really lucky.
So yeah, keep that in mind when you're cleaning out the attic or something like that.
Well, we don't. You know what? We went through that, I mean, not to discourage people from offering things once in a while, you know, but I think that we're pretty set for most of what we need, yeah.
Yeah, and actually saying that, I know you had a couple of sales last year too, just trying to decrease the inventory because there was so much of it too.
That's right. Yes,
yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So the dates for your play, it's going to start February 14th.
Yeah, Valentine's Day. Yes. So if you're looking for a way to
date night,
you know, if you have a date night idea that you're still looking for, I would suggest that you consider this.
Absolutely. So we've got February 14th, 15th, 20th, 21st, 22nd. Those are 7:30 shows.
Yep.
Yeah. And February 16th and the 23rd, those are 2 p.m. shows.
Yeah, matinees, that's right. Yeah.
All right. Now, tickets are only $24 and $10 for students.
Right.
Quite reasonable, and they're available. We've got them at Special Greetings.
Right.
We can get them at smithfallstheater.com.
Yep.
You can get them at the door.
Yes, that's right.
But you want to make sure you get it. Some of your shows get sold out,
so
don't be disappointed.
Typically, what happens is the second week, the tickets are a little bit harder to come by.
Right.
Word has spread that the show is worth seeing, and so, you know, if you want to get a ticket at the door, the first week is probably the time to do that.
Absolutely, and and it's the beginning of the year. You've got 6 plays going out this year as well, too.
Right. So we, our group gets together, and we have a play reading committee, and so we try to plan a year in advance, and we've kind of gotten into a pattern of the genre of play that we like to have at certain times of the year. Obviously, we've had more of a Christmas-themed show at that time of the year. In the past, we've done pantomimes for a number of years, and we have our youth production in the summer that you alluded to, and Linda Daniluk has played a big role in promoting that. And then this time of the year, we've sort of fallen into the farce as, you know, maybe something. It's the middle of winter, and people are maybe looking for something to uplift their spirits. So hopefully we can satisfy that, and a fun night out, exactly. So hopefully they'll enjoy it.
And you yourself, you're involved in almost every one of them too.
Well, I do have an interest in this type of show, and so given my schedule, I try to make myself available at this time of the year. I've definitely cut back on the number of shows that I do, but this is a time that I try to set some time aside for. Yeah.
All right. Now, how do you practice yourself? Like, it's a lot to remember.
Yeah. There's a lot of memory work.
Yeah.
Strategy. Well, I guess just read it over as much as possible and try to commit it to memory. You know, it's a good exercise for keeping the mental faculties sharp. And yeah, it's a lot of work. It involves probably at least 6 weeks of pretty intense study, and then getting together with your castmates to try and figure out the way in which the show is going to work. So it's, you know, it's a big commitment, but I think part of the attraction for folks is that it is a lot of fun, and that's what it should be. It's a way that, I mean, we're under no illusions. I can speak for myself. We're not going to Broadway or to Hollywood. But it's an interest that some people have, and we have an opportunity in this community to have a place and a group that allows you to explore that interest. So
now you say it's a farce. You have been in plays before that's got a comedy background sort of thing.
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten up there and just started laughing yourself?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
How do you discipline yourself?
Yeah. Well, there are certainly things that happen that aren't in the script.
Yes.
And so you're not supposed to break character. And I can remember one show we had in the last few years where the fire alarm went off in the middle of a show.
Like the real fire alarm?
Real fire alarm, right. So we had to, you know, the show must go on, and so we just had to keep going without breaking character, and it all kind of worked out.
Well,
yeah.
And now you got a story to tell about it.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
I think it's like I guess one of the secrets is that when you're on stage, you have to listen to what your actor partners are saying, and sometimes the audience might not realize it, but maybe somebody dropped a line, or you skipped ahead to a part that you weren't supposed to skip ahead to, and so you have to just sort of carry on and not indicate that there's been a problem.
The audience doesn't know.
The audience doesn't know.
That's right.
So, yeah, it's an exercise in it's a discipline, I guess, that requires some courage.
And working on the spot, yes.
Yeah, that's right. Some quick thinking as well, sure.
Yeah,
but you really rely on each other, and it is a bit of a team sport in some ways, right?
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. Well, I appreciate you being here today to tell us more
thanks
about
for your interest.
There Goes the Bride. It starts on February 14th at our Station Theatre, and it's our Smith Falls Community Theatre putting it on.
Right.
Jamie Schoular, you're going to be one of the members of the play, but you're also the director.
Right.
Yep. Busy.
Yeah, well, thanks, Kathy, and we look forward to having folks come out, and hopefully we'll be able to do a good job, and be happy they
Tickets
came.
available at Specials Greetings or at smithfallstheatre.com or at the door.
Right
Don't
on.
be disappointed, though. Get them ahead of time.
Okay, thanks, Kathy.